Playing your rock drum with my rock face.
Whoa!
Hey there. Sorry about that. Alright, my name's Tony Rude.
And I'm Hannah DePenty.
And we came together to give you guys a list of the
top
top 10
most influential bands of rock and roll. Alright guys, we came up with a certain criteria that each of these bands had to meet to make the list.
Yeah, we were talking about bands that were innovative and unique for their time. Any band that had come along and, something had been done before, we're not looking at as much. We're talking about the bands, I'm not going to name any of them now, you'll see, but bands that came along and just were able to shake the music industry as it was, hit those #1 billboards and come along with something really unique.
Yeah. Alright, our second criteria was that they had to have a broad range of songs. So, for example, a band would have maybe a folk rock song on one album and have a psychedelic rock song on another.
Okay. And our third criteria we're looking for bands that are timeless. And by that we just simply mean bands that you could be listening to in 30 years from now, and even though they're 100 years old then, they're still just the great same band that you've always known and grown up with. Kind of like the bands your parents listen to, most likely.
Pretty much. Alright,
okay.
Well...
Rock and roll!
Coming in at number 10 is the band Queen. They originated in London, England, and have been active since 1971.
And while they're still around today, it should be noted that in 1991, unfortunately, lead singer Freddie Mercury died of AIDS and bronchopneumonia.
Along with Freddie Mercury, other bandmates were Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon.
Queen is accredited with creating stadium rock, particularly due to their song We Are the Champions. Actually, what's kind of interesting is that in a scientific study, it was found that We Are the Champions was the catchiest song ever made. Other popular songs by Queen include Under Pressure, Another One Bites the Dust, and Bohemian Rhapsody, a song which sat at the #1 spot on the UK singles chart for over 9 weeks.
With 7 Ivor Novello Awards, 18 #1 albums, and being inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Queen easily landed on our list.
Coming in at number 9 on our top 10 list is the Grateful Dead, an American rock band formed in 1965 in the San Francisco area. The band was known for its unique style, which fused many different elements such as blues, bluegrass, rock, country, reggae, improvisational jazz, and even psychedelia.
Their founding band members were Jerry Garcia, Bob Weir, John Pigpen McCarran, Phil Lesh, and Bill McCrutzman.
What was particularly interesting about the Grateful Dead is that they changed up the style from previous bands like the Beatles and Beach Boys by adding a more electronic sound to their style, which is a little more dirtier and heavier.
Their improvisational style separated them from other bands also. Some of the Grateful Dead's accomplishments were getting a Grammy and also being put on the list of 100 greatest artists of all time in Rolling Stone magazine.
One interesting thing about Grateful Dead was their wall of sound, which was an enormous sound system they built specifically for their band at live shows. They were never satisfied with the house system anywhere they played. So, using Bear, their sound man, who is also one of the largest suppliers of LSD until 1970, they were able to accomplish a wall of sound which created great sound for their live venues.
All in all, the Grateful Dead earned their spot on our list because they were great at jamming and improvising on stage.
At number 8 on our list was Nirvana. They pioneered the sounds of punk and grunge and were the epitome of teen angst.
After lead singer Kurt Cobain died in 1994, both other musicians in the band went on to have successful careers in music.
Popular songs by Nirvana include Smells Like Teen Spirit, Rape Me, and All Apologies. Some accomplishments by them are that they won 5 MTV Music Video Awards, were nominated for 6 Grammys, and won one of them.
One interesting fact about Nirvana is that Kurt Cobain claimed that Nirvana should always be spelled in all capital letters. Coming in at number 7, we have Pink Floyd.
A 4-piece band originating in London, England since 1965, Pink Floyd is characterized by their psychedelic style, as well as their lead guitarist, David Gilmour.
Pink Floyd is influential because of their unique lyrics and songwriting style, which include using non-musical instruments in their songs.
For example,
clocks,
cash registers,
and weather sounds.
Their music video for Another Brick in the Wall received high media attention as well and was prohibited from being viewed in schools nationwide. And number 6 on our top 10 list was Led Zeppelin, an English rock band that started in 1968 until roughly around 1980.
Led Zeppelin was also very influential because of their vast range of sound and their use of folk and blues, while at the same time being considered the heaviest band of all time by Rolling Stone.
Popular songs by Led Zeppelin include Communication Breakdown, Rock and Roll, and the infamous Stairway to Heaven. Led Zeppelin was known to have very long points on stage where they would have improvisational jams for over 10 minutes at some points.
Led Zeppelin, described by Rolling Stone as the biggest band of the 70s, earns its spot at number 6. Our number 5 band is the Rolling Stones. Their origin is London, England, and they have been active since 1962.
One of the biggest bands of the British invasion, Rolling Stone had 24 studio albums and was ranked number 4 greatest band of all time by Rolling Stone magazine, who actually in fact got their name from the band the Rolling Stones.
Popular songs from the Rolling Stones are Satisfaction, Give Me Shelter, and Paint It Black. The Rolling Stones were considered an influential band because they used a lot of the musical experimentations with catchy, upbeat songs that were unforgettable. Hailing from Hidden, Minnesota, we have number 4, Bob Dylan.
One interesting fact about Bob Dylan is that his name is not Bob Dylan. It's actually Robert Allen Zimmerman. Some popular songs by Robert are Like a Rolling Stone, The Times They Are Changin', and Visions of Johanna.
A few of Bob Dylan's many accomplishments are gaining 11 Grammys and being induced into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Bob Dylan is influential because he writes very poetic lyrics that are easy to relate to, and he has ignored musical trends and went his own way.
Alright, here we are now to the top 3. So here it is, number 3, Jimi Hendrix. Hendrix was chosen for a spot for several reasons, one of them being his amazing guitar skills. Considered one of the best guitarists, if not the best of all time, Hendrix was the first guitarist to practically use distortion and wah effects in his songs that other bands of his time, such as Cream, could not.
Jimi Hendrix's origin is Seattle, Washington. He was active from 1963 to 1970. His birthday was September 18, 1942. His career was tragically ended when he OD'd in 1970.
Jimi Hendrix was truly an innovator. He was one of a kind and the first of his kind. He is widely considered the origin of modern rock today.
Runner-up to the top most influential rock band of all time is the Beatles.
The Beatles were an obvious addition to the list because they are debatably considered the greatest band of all time. With 213 songs, and after receiving an award for the most number 1 hits of all time, the Beatles are great because they ventured into several different genres of music while always staying true to their unique style.
One great thing about the Beatles is that every member of the band were singer and songwriters. Band members include John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr. The band came together in 1960 but ended quickly in 1970. However, each band member proceeded on to their own solo career.
The Beatles have tons of popular songs, but to name a few, a list would include Love Me Do,
From Me to You,
She Loves You,
I Want to Hold Your Hand,
Can't Buy Me Love,
A Hard Day's Night,
I Feel Fine,
8 Days a Week,
Ticket to Ride,
Help,
Yesterday,
Day Tripper,
We Can Work It Out,
Paperback Writer,
Yellow Submarine,
Eleanor Rigby,
Penny Lane,
All You Need Is Love,
Hello, Goodbye,
Lady Madonna,
Hey Jude,
Get Back,
The Battle of John and Yoko,
Something,
Come Together,
Let It Be.
and The Winding Road. And that's just a short list.
Well, we always had a lot of fun with this one. The jailhouse.
And at number 1, we have the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley, otherwise known as the King of Rock and Roll, was a cultural icon who changed the music scene forever with his charming good looks, rebellious attitude, and heavenly voice. His mixture of blues, country, and gospel helped form the musical genre we all know today as rock and roll. And many other things.
The King of Rock and Roll was born in Tupelo, Mississippi on January 8, 1935. His years active as a musician were from 1953 until 1977 when he tragically died of a heart failure.
A few popular songs by Elvis were Heartbreak Hotel, Hound Dog, and Love Me Tender. Some of Elvis's many accomplishments were that he released 18 chart-topping songs, was in 31 feature films, and he earned 3 Grammys.
An interesting fact about Elvis is that when he was a kid, his parents were poor, and so instead of buying him a bike, they bought him a cheap $12 acoustic guitar, which is where Elvis first found his roots in music.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Whoa.
Hey, well, thank you. We hope you guys enjoyed our episode and the top 10 most influential rock bands
of all time.
Thank you. Have a good night. Rock on. Woo!
Thank you,
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Woo!